Hey folks, this is your girl El Rachel. I am coming to you. Turn this off. Coming to you today just to I haven't done a blog in probably about a week. I had been doing the blog on blog. I keep saying that on mental health. Basically talking about some of the issues that I deal with as a bipolar female, black female, and some of the issues that seem to arise because of that in my relationships and friendships and etc., family, all of that. And it's clear to me why I started doing it is because I do not feel that people understand per se the things that I go through, or others like me that have the what I think they call it mental disability. I don't know what they call it, but anyway, the point is I am just kind of tired of going back and forth through the same thing, and I just want to kind of what do you call it, illuminate, I think that might be a good word, the issue, so that other people understand that it may seem like one thing, but it's not. It's something completely different. So, and I say that to say I'm gonna get into the whole thing. So over the past, I guess, maybe month or so, no, 2-3 months, something like that, I have been doing a lot of research about the bipolar disorder, right? I have bipolar 1 disorder. And although it seems like I am functioning as a normal person, which I am a normal person, but my thoughts aren't the same as your thoughts or somebody else's thoughts, But what I found is that so this time I'm going to talk about actual relationships, like love relationships or whatever. So what I have found is that it's sometimes very hard for me to find someone that understands the things that I go through and the things that I deal with, and a lot of people just don't have the patience or the capacity to be able to handle me as a bipolar woman, basically, and being black. That's a whole different story right there. But I did a little bit of research on my own, excuse me, and what I have discovered is that there are things that are in play that I was not aware of, but I was doing it anyway. And it resembles the look of desperation in a woman. So a lot of things that I do it by instinct, but I do it because it's more comforting to me. And the unfortunate part about it is it does give me a look of desperation. And as we all know, men don't like someone that looks like they're desperate. And I'm not desperate. That's definitely not the case. But I reek of desperation because of my actions. But my actions derive from the disorder and not desperation. I mean, because clearly, I might not have a relationship right now because I haven't found anybody that I'm really, feeling, and they're feeling the same way. But more of not in a relationship, because it's just not, it hasn't been what I needed it to be. I have certain needs, and I have certain types of people that would be able to understand my thought process and why I do some of the things that I do. Not meaning any harm, not trying to, drive anybody crazy, because of hell, I drive myself crazy sometimes. Sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, where did this come from? Where did this thought come from? I have no idea. And I have to kind of scale back for a little bit and figure it out. I told a friend of mine the other day that it's really hard for me to maintain relationships, because I don't know what to do and what not to do. Basically, I try to pick up clues and hints from people based on their interaction. But here's the thing, is because I do not see it. I'm a very, very, very visual person, and so I can see the dynamics of a relationship. I can understand this piece of it, but I can't understand this piece of it. So I'm not able to make the to differentiate how I'm thinking versus how someone that doesn't have the disorder is thinking. And so that includes, a love or intimate relationship with anyone, even my friendships. I have a girlfriend, and I do some of the craziest stuff, and she's like, what is going on with you? Because I like freak out if I haven't heard from her in a couple of days or whatever, because I'm like, okay, what did I do? What did I do? What did I do? I haven't done anything. I've done nothing. But it's like the fear of, okay, I don't want to lose this friend. I really, really like her as my friend. And we just laugh and joke and everything. And so she just figured something wrong with this girl. So I'm just going to let her do what she gonna do. So when I call and I do get in contact with her, we just be laughing, because I'm like, what happened to you? And it's so funny to me that I do these things. And it's funny at the time, but it's funny with somebody who understands you and understands, like, the craziness that you're gonna go through. And I go through it. I really do. And I sit there, I try to rationalize it out and say, okay, last time we talked, there was nothing wrong, we're good. We didn't have an argument. We go back and forth on certain things. It's just certain things that you can tell a real friend, you get into an argument, and then the next day y'all talking again. And we don't get into arguments like that, but we definitely have a difference of opinions, and it's funny kind of to just see, how we operate and think differently. I know she thinks I be trying to be her mom or something, but I'm actually almost old enough to be her mom. But I love her, I love her, I love her. And I'm just glad that she doesn't take some of the things that I do to heart, and she's a very forgiving person, and she just is like, I know Rachel acting a fool today. Thank goodness, because I need those types of people in my life. And that's the same thing with a love interest or whatever the case may be, because I'm very careful. I try to be careful at who I select, if you will. And it's not that, select, that's technically not the actual terminology. I just can't figure out the correct terminology for what I want to use. And it's so it's almost like, so when I'm always trying to figure out how to explain this stuff, and I'm just like trying to just understand me. If you realize how long I have been going through the same situations, getting the same results, and I know people out there say, okay, that's the definition of crazy. Now that I say that, well, I guess they would be right. So, because yes, that is the definition of crazy, and it's going through the motions, expecting something that happened last time to not happen this time, but it's the same exact scenarios. So it's so funny to me that I said that, because I really had not thought about that at all. But it is so true. And so what I kind of look at is I know, okay, so basically this is what I was trying to say when I said choose or select. I know the type of person that I need to have in my life as a love interest. I know what kind of person, I know what type of person he has to be. So I wasn't necessarily saying his looks, even though, of course that plays part. Can't wake up to somebody and then look over there and get scared, and that's your man. If I'm scared of you in the dark, I'm definitely gonna be scared of you in the light. But yeah, so that does make a difference. But however, what does make the most important part for me in a love relationship is going to be understanding how I am, understanding who I am, and trying to understand how I think. And sometimes it's very difficult, because it's difficult for me to understand how my thinking process plays out. And so I say that because so if I go back and I think about, as I was growing up, I've basically, you already had, like, I had the bipolar disorder since probably about 13, maybe 14, 12, 13, 14, somewhere in there. And that's when you actually have when you can actually get the diagnosis, because that's when those mental disorders start showing in your life. Like if you have what is it called, PID, personality something disorder. It used to be called schizophrenia, but it's called PID or something like that. Multiple personality disorder, something like that. Anyway, so those are the time when you start going through your teenage years. That's when you start discovering that thing is happening in your mind. It's not normal. It's not the thought process of everyday people. But so I have to go back and think about at 12, 13, 14, yeah, I was doing some crazy stuff, and I look at things. I'm lucky actually to be alive, because I could have been on Dateline. But at the same time, I have to look at it in this way as well, because my mother was very unstable as well. And I believe she said she has bipolar disorder as well. And so it's kind of, they say it could be hereditary, but I truly believe that is in some way, form, or fashion. But so what I saw from her and her relationships was not the right examples for me, because I have to deal with my own thing. But if you can think about the fact that because I've seen so much that is, I don't want to say inappropriate, but what is the terminology I'm looking for? I've been looking for words all day. But the examples or the role model that I had, which was my mother, was not conducive to the life that I want to live. I saw things that I thought were okay. You know, you got to think about, sometimes people go into these relationships, and what you don't understand is, of course, you're going to think this and they're going to think this. You weren't raised the same. You weren't raised in the same household. You weren't raised by the same people, so your values are completely different. And that's even, even to be honest, even when you are raised in the same household, two people are completely different by the way that they think about things, or the way that they do things, their mannerisms. A lot of things I have actually picked up, from my dad, and I really didn't see my dad like that. It's only been the last, I don't know, few years that we have reconnected and have a good relationship. But even though that happens, I can still see the similarities in me and him. And that's it's really funny when you think about it. But going back to what I was saying, so yes, my mom was, when it comes to relationships and men, she did what she knew, and so that in itself confused me, because yes, if I see my role model, and that's the only one I had, if I see that person doing this or doing that and they're in a relationship, it's truth to me. This is how you're supposed to be. I think I use the terminology subjective relativism. I think that's the terminology, where the things that you see or you've been brought up to follow or to have as an example, you believe it, whether it's true or not. It may simply just not be true. And there are things that I have found, oh my goodness, if I tell you how many things that I was like, what? I'm not supposed to do that. But that's what my mom did. So in my mind, it was correct. It was correct. And so how do you change those things? And I really had to do kind of almost like a reboot of my mind. They call it brainwashing, or and so I had to just kind of take some of those things, and understand that's not my place. That's not what I'm supposed to do. Because my mom has always been an alpha female, and everybody say I'm an alpha female, but I really don't think so. I'm not a beta, but I think I'm an O. That's what I would think. I'm gonna have to look that up and make sure I'm right about that. But I know and understand, before, when I was growing up with her, because she's always made so much more money than her spouse. My mom has been married probably about 9 times, and I cannot tell you the breakdown in the relationship because I don't know. I know what my daddy told me. And that's just funny. That's a whole different story. But anyway, she only did what she knew how to do. And so she would pretty much emasculate a man. And I understand that that is not the way to do things. Now, did I understand it then? Hell no. I was riding out on look, that was me. Do I still do that? Sometimes, on occasion, but for the most part, no, because I understand that here's the thing. You have to find someone that can lead you. And me, as the person that I am, I'm a submissive person. It may not seem like it, but I am. And saying I'm an alpha, I've never seen myself as an alpha, but I do see myself as competitive, and it's just the way that I think and I process things. Really, that's really all it is. But I know that there's no way some of the things that I've seen can be accurate. No man wants to feel emasculated. No man wants to feel that he's not leading you and you're leading him. And I don't want that person. I'm going to tell you the honest truth. The truth is the fact that for me, if I find someone that lets me lead them, I'm going to run right over them. I'm not going to lie. I cannot tell a lie. I got to tell the truth. I am going to roll over them like a steamroller. I know me. Take over, take advantage, and it's not even something that I intentionally do. It's just something I'm wired to do. I'm wired. Like, if you're weak, you can't be with me. You cannot be with me. So I think that is the difference. Because maybe with someone like that, then I would have to, if I got to step up and do what I feel like the man is supposed to do, and everybody doesn't feel this way, but this is how I feel, that if you are my man, husband, or whatever, then you need to understand that you got to lead me. That's basic to me. That's how it's supposed to work. I need you to be able to lead. I need you to be able to make the decisions that are going to be beneficial for not just you, but for me as well. Because I am pretty much just going to follow your lead. That's what I'm supposed to do. Do I do it all the time? I can't say that. But I understand the principle of it. And I understand that I don't like to use this word because I'm not religious whatsoever. But I am there, I'll say it like this. I am there to support him. And he, in turn, is there to love me. So it's called for. There are certain dynamics that has to be within a relationship. And one thing I know for sure is respect. Absolute 100% respect when it comes to a man. If he feels disrespected, he's not going to stay. And so I had to relearn those things. And even though I already had the disorder, the bipolar 1 disorder, those were other dynamics that were just thrown on it. And so I'm trying to figure out how to be the woman that I know I am or can be. And it just drives me crazy because sometimes I just don't understand. And I had a friend tell me that as an alpha female that I can kind of be demanding, I guess. I'll take charge, I'll take the lead, I'll do that. But I guess what he doesn't understand on my part is that if I don't see that you are pushing in the manner in which I think that you are, then I got to take the lead. I don't want to take the lead. I want you to be able to do what you do. But I want to be able to add to whatever you're doing and make it better. Make it look good. Make it sound good. Do everything that I need to do to help you to get to where you need to be. That's what I'm here for. And the last guy I was working with or whatever, and we had a personal relationship as well. And he can tell you he had everything going on, which is great. And so the only thing I did was come alongside him and just start doing the stuff I knew how to do, helping him to get better, helping him to do better. That's my whole role. That's what I love doing. I love doing that. I love to be the support. I love to be that person that thinks outside the box. Okay, well, you're here, so let's see how to get you here. Okay, well, you've done this. Let's see how to get this incorporated as well. Because that's how I think. It's not anything where I'm trying to take over. I'm just trying to offer you the additional support that I feel that you need or want, or whatever the case may be. And I'm trying to figure out how long I've been on here talking, y'all. Look, I can't see. Oh, shoot, I've been on here for 25 minutes. I'm about to get off. Oh, I'm about to get off here because I got other stuff I got to do. But I did want to come on and just kind of share some insight that I think is pertinent to the struggle that I have. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one when it comes to dealing with this disorder. But what I do know is that I'm still fighting. I'm still working towards getting the things that I want and getting a solid relationship. I'm still working towards all of that. And I'm sure that it's going to work out in my favor. It's just a matter of time. It's a matter of time. So this is Rachel, your girl Rachel of Rachel Valentine Consulting. And no, I'm not talking about business consulting today. I'm just do I have lipstick on? Oh, see, that's that's my ADHD kicking in. Gone, just doing something else. Now I forgot all of what I was talking about. Oh my gosh. So anyway, yeah. Hopefully this has been something good for someone to help to understand, and I look to be able to bring this type of information to you on a regular basis because I think it's a necessity. Okay, so it's your girl Rachel, and thank you so much for watching my channel, and I look forward to vlogging with you again. Okay, take care. Mwah, mwah, mwah.